Right. Let's talk about social responsibility. And what I want to talk about today is social responsibility in finance. But before beginning that, let's just talk about social responsibility. What social responsibility means. In my prior videos, I have told you guys that whenever we do things, there's a right way to do things and there is a wrong way to do things. And I think everyone must know that there are consequences when things are done in any way. If you're doing things right, there will be consequences either for yourself or for others. And when you're doing things wrong, there will be consequences either for yourself or for others, society. So if I'm, let's say, if I'm doing, if let's say if I'm speeding on the road, for an example, I'm speeding on the road. There can be consequences that I might get into an accident and hurt myself, destroy my vehicle, and it is also a possibility that I might kill someone. Yeah, these are the consequences that might happen. I might destroy someone's property. I might cause a havoc in a society, in that place wherever I am speeding. This is called that. That's how we can understand what social responsibility means. Whatever I'm doing, I have to be responsible for myself, that I don't hurt myself. And I also have to be responsible socially so that I don't cause society to get hurt. Like if I'm speeding and I know I'm confident enough that no, nothing is going to happen. Yeah, nothing might happen to me, but I might hurt someone outside on the road walking the sideway. I have to be responsible for that. Just me being safe in the car is not enough. I have to take care of the people also. That's called social responsibility. That's what social responsibility means. That whatever I'm doing, I have to make sure that I don't get hurt, and I have to very make sure. I also have to make sure that other people don't get hurt with my decision, with my actions, with my speech, or not speech, because people get offended for anything. So that's what social responsibility means. That I don't cause havoc in the society by my actions. Speeding was one example. Um, there can be other example too. Let's pivot our analogy to a scenario where I am opening a bar, an alcohol shop, a bar or a club in a society where there are children. Yeah. So my actions might cause me to earn money. Yeah. What I'm doing is legally allowed, maybe. But what I'm doing, is it ethically right? Is it socially responsible? Am I acting as a socially responsible person? No. Me opening a bar in certain place might cause pain to many people, and especially children, the new generation. That's not socially responsible. That's not my actions. That those are socially responsible. And people come up with justifications for all of what they do. People have justification for everything. I mean, if you can have justification for genocide, you can have justification for anything, right? So people come up with justifications. That's what I wanted to talk to you today: social responsibility. And as you might be familiar, that this channel is about finance. We talk about money over here, and what I do try to do is give you the principles of Islamic finance, the principles which Allah has given us to do finance. And later on, I am going to share more principles about the religion of Islam in the Quran, which we find about the principles for humanity, for humanity. Because Quran is not just a book for Muslims; it's a book for humanity. Okay, moving on. Let's now let's talk about specifically for finance for a while. When we are talking about finance, why do people enter in finance, and why do people enter in finance, the field of finance, economics, businesses? To earn money, of course. But there is a place, there's a place when we forget that there's something called responsibility too. We cross the lines. And humans have crossed so much line in the field of finance that injustice and corruption has literally become the norm. And it is said that this is how we do things over here. If you can't survive this, if you don't have a guts, if you don't have a stomach to handle this pressure, you can leave. Go back to your village. Or go back to the third world country where you came from. But this is how we do things over here in the world. In the first world, in the West world. How? Okay. See, I always uh, say this thing that one of the hidden cancers in our society is interest. Is riba, is usury. This money making money mechanism has literally destroyed societies, and not just societies to a societal level, but destroyed entire nations, empires. This money making money mechanism, interest. We're currently living in a debt crisis. For those of you who might not know, the entire United States, talking about the citizens of the United States, they are collectively in around $30 trillion in debt. $30 trillion in debt. $1.21 trillion in credit card debts. Somewhere around 300 to $400 billion in student loan just in New York City. Student loan. There's a housing crisis right now. People can't afford homes. Why? Because the prices of homes have skyrocketed while the value of those homes is stagnant. The value of that piece is $10, and the price that is being asked for that $10 commodity is $100, for an example. There's a housing crisis. People can't afford new homes. Mortgages, payday loans, so much. And I was shocked. I was shocked to read about this, that New York, when people say New York, so people have this imaginary fancy, I will say, fancy image of New York and New Yorkers. And I was reading, and I saw New York is the most in debt region in the entire country. one out of five New Yorkers are either poor or near poverty. What are they doing with that money? They're borrowing on interest. Well, they're buying food. They're buying groceries. They're paying rents. They're paying repayments. What a contrast do we see in society, where one side you have a complete billionaire row with $1 million penthouses and flats and apartments completely empty, while on the other side you will see food pantries. And then people start complaining that, oh, immigrants have caused this. Really, immigrants have caused this. Yeah, 2008 was an immigrant crisis, right? Immigrants. Immigrants have caused this. Minorities have caused this. The third world has taken our jobs. This is because of those, because of them, because of that, while neglecting the real issue, which are the banks, which is interest, which is usury, which is riba. People are drowning. Not even people. Nations are drowning in debt. There is a new kind of slavery in 21st century, and that slavery is called that slavery is in the form of debts. When in your mind, every time you get your salary, you start making your decision based on the repayments you have to make. Repayments you have to make of your debt. And then you're going to set your budget for the month. And that's how you're going to choose your future choices. How do you think you'll ever get free? That's a new kind of slavery. Nations are in debt. In debt. IMF, World Bank. But citizens demand the government to change the policy. Little do they know that the government don't even control the policies. The presidents, the prime ministers don't control the policy. It's the IMF and the World Bank who decides how much taxes will be there. Because when these giant banks give loans to the countries, now they have the authority to decide what are the taxes which will be enforced on people. Governments can't do anything. Governments are helpless. People say that presidents and prime ministers are one of the strongest persons in the country. Actually, they are one of the weakest people in the country. They can't even speak out of their own free will. So, I was talking about social responsibility. All this thing which I told you about debt and interest on usury and riba, why am I talking this? There are some few people who want to make money. Okay? But out of what? Out of causing and enslaving an entire society, nations, human being. Is that socially responsible? Is that ethical? No. That's what social responsibility means in finance, where you earn money, but keeping in mind that you have the responsibility towards society too. You cannot just earn money. There's this thing. There's this thing which is said by the rich people that I have earned this money. Nobody has given this money to me. I can do whatever I want with this money. Don't tell me what to do with this money when you never came to help me while trying to earn this money. While I was building my empire, nobody came to save me. This is my money. I can do whatever I want with this money. Might have heard those things. Donkeys work harder than human beings. Mr. Richie Rich, donkeys work harder than human beings. They're not rich. That money which you and I have is a trust which Allah has given us. He has bestowed that trust upon us that we are going to do justice with that money. It's not your money, neither is my money. We are supposed to spend it, earn it, as Allah commands us to do it. Understood, Mr. Richie Rich? If not, you will understand shortly, inshallah. So, that's what social responsibility means in finance, that you have to earn money in a way that is socially responsible. Now let's talk about when these principle is not met, when this principle is not practiced, is neglected, is ignored. What happens in a society, or what are the social consequences when this principle is not practiced? Inequality grows. I think I don't have to explain this thing to anyone. The rich are getting rich, the poor are getting poorer, the middle class is getting crushed. Is that not an inequality? In the same city, you will see one person driving his Porsche, his Ferrari, his Bugatti as a daily driver, while on the other hand, there's a person who is not able to fill the tank of his bike, who is having problem putting food on the table for himself and his family, if he has a family, if he was able to start a family in the first place. Is that not what's happening in society, in cities? That is inequality. When these principles of social responsibilities are neglected or ignored, then inequality grows. When wealth is locked up in the hands of few and not shared responsibly, the gap between rich and poor widens. They are the elite group. The societies has came back to this structure where the elites. There is something called elites now. The top 1%. They are sitting over here on the tables, and the rest of the population, us, is down here. Now these people are going to decide how much we are going to earn, how much we are going to spend, what we are going to do, what we are not going to do. These elites are going to decide. Really? These people are going to decide my life's decision? I'm not jealous of anyone over here. People say that, oh, these poor people, maybe this guy who is making this video is probably unemployed. Yeah, you're right. I am unemployed. Also, you are what? You are jealous of the rich people. No, I'm not jealous of anyone. Rather, I don't even care how much money any person has. I literally don't care how much money any person has. I'm not against anyone making money. I'm against injustice, corruption in the society. Don't try to put words in my mouth. Listen to what I'm speaking. When wealth is locked up in the hands of few, what happens? The rich become rich and the poor become poor. Not a really strange phenomena, I guess. The wealthy accumulates more resource, opportunity, and influence. Of course, when there is a lot of wealth in few hands, they are going to buy more and more asset. They are going to get more and more opportunity to make more money. They are going to get influence. How do these Rich people gain influence well by well by politicians. They buy the politicians. They buy the politicians. They make sure that all the contracts their firm gets, they gets the money. They get the money. They'll give some commission to the politicians, and that's how things are going. While the poor people or the middle class, they're having difficulty to find opportunity. There's not lack of opportunity. Opportunity doesn't lack. It's just some people have taken hostage over the opportunities, which should be available for everyone. Equality is not present in the society. Why? Because it's my money, I can do whatever I want with my money. I don't care what people are going to say about me, what people are going to think about me. There's no responsibility in society. The poor people are struggling harder to survive. Billionaires grow. $50 million apartment, $100 million apartment, $150 million apartment, all bought and emptied. They're all empty. While in the same city, you'll see New Yorkers sleeping on the road. The poor people. Oh, these people are on drugs. Oh, these people do that. Oh, these people do this. What caused them to be in that position at the first place? If some person is stealing right now, if some person is committing a crime right now, if some person is on the drugs right now, ask yourself what caused this person to get to this place at the first place. If there are people sleeping on the road, then their sleeping on the road is not a bigger issue. What is a bigger issue is how did they get to this place? Over time, this imbalance become normal, and society accept injustice. Listen to this: injustice as the way things are. As things keep going, things keep going, things keep going. All of the people accept this imbalance, this hierarchy of money, this top 1% and the rest of the society. And people start saying the way things, these are the things. People start saying that this is how it is what it is. What are you gonna do about that? I was looking for a property in Manhattan, Madison Avenue. And I saw that that property has just $50,000 taxes per month. I don't know the stats are real or not, but $50,000 per month taxes? Really? And okay, if you're taking $50,000 for taxes, that's all right. What are you going to do with that? The roads of the New York are bumpy, are bumpy. Yeah, there are not even enough public toilets in New York City, and the healthcare in the city is, I guess, skyrocketing. People can't get medical help until they have insurance. So it's all right. It's all right if you're taking the taxes, $50,000 or $100,000. But what are you going to do with that money? Fund Israel to commit genocide? That's why people don't pay taxes. That's the reason people don't pay taxes. $50,000 per month. Really. What is the second thing that happens when this principle is neglected? What is the principle I'm talking about? Social responsibility, specifically in finance. The second thing that happens is social unrest rises. Of course, poverty doesn't mean lack of money. It creates frustration and anger when people are having struggle and people are working hard. I'm reminded of that lady, that congresswoman who was talking to this guy, some diamond. His name is the CEO of JP Morgan. She said that she was a congresswoman. She said that I have found a job at your bank through monster.com, and your job is paying me 16 point something dollar. I'm working over there full time, and she mapped out each and every billing, and this I have a child, I have a dependency, and while I'm working a full time with you, I have to go in debt just to pay my essentials. Of course, people are going to get frustrated and angry that when I am working full time, I'm working honestly, I'm working hard, and still I have to get in debt. Of course, you will see anger and frustration in people. No wonder why there's so much frustration in the society right now, why people are so angry, why people are so pissed off. I was there's this New Yorker. She went to Malaysia and she literally made a video. She literally made a video out of this that I came to Malaysia and I see the people so respectful and people too so hospitable. I was like, she was so impressed with this thing, and she said that I live in New York and I don't see this people this thing in people. People are so rude. People are very rude in New York. They're very rude. They don't talk to you nicely. They don't. These people are rude, and I'll argue to that yeah, people might be rude because there is so much frustration and anger in people that they're in debt. This imbalance, this inequality is one of the reason I think people are so rude. They're working hard, they're working honestly, still they're not able to make enough, or they are not even getting allowed to make enough. They say that New York is the financial capital of the world, and I believe that it is the financial capital of the world. But then you're gonna hear that 1 out of 5 New Yorkers are in poverty or near poverty. How will anyone explain that to me? Well, there is only one thing. Yeah, New York City is one of the financial capital of the world, but it's just for some few people over there. The rest of the people, they are just peasants and workers and slaves. People who feel excluded or exploited begin to resent. Of course, the people who start getting exploited, and I have experienced this in another place where there are not many jobs and people are ready to do anything they get. You'll start seeing exploitation from the employer of that poor lad. People start getting exploited out of their work, and if people call back, the employer will say, "Go, just go out. There are 100 people in the line waiting for the job you are doing right now. If you want to leave, you can leave. And if you have to stay, if you want to stay, I will keep overburdening you from the work, and I'm not going to pay you equally to the work I'm giving you. I'm definitely going to underpay you. If you want to leave, you can leave. There are 100 people waiting on the line for the job you're doing right now. Exploitation increases in society. This resentment can lead to protest, violence, or instability. Yes, of course, when there are enough of this happening in society, and it is enough of this happening, and especially in America right now. What are you going to see? Protest. People start protesting against their governments, against their leaders. People start protesting against their governments, their leaders. Violence start to happen, and instability start to cause. Then what their governments start to do? Oh, especially the one person, they start laughing. Oh, look at these people. These stupid people came up with their posters on the road, and they're gonna think they are going to make any change. No, they're not going to make any change. These are just stupid people. Stupid, stupid, low, filthy, poor people. That's what is said for the normal people. These are stupid peoples. Violence increase. People start stealing, robbing, and then government comes. Or government employees come with their arms and they start shooting their bullets. Then what happens? Instability. This cause more protest, more violence, and this cycle starts getting repeated. I mean, I'm reminded of uh, the protests which were happening in New York only. I guess 2 years ago, where there were fires getting put out in New York City, and it's really whole in America. And right now also, just few days ago, in the case that happened to that woman in Minnesota, and then again a man to Minnesota done by the immigration department, it caused a protest. Yesterday only I saw this the government the mayor of New York City passing some doing some press conference regarding this issue. History shows that when poor are ignored, societies eventually face revolution or collapse. Look at Roman Empire, look at Greece, look at I'm not able to recall the names. Look at all these empires. Wherever you'll see that poor people are. Look at the French Revolution, and even look at the American Revolution, which happened in Boston. Whenever poor people, whenever weak people are exploited, it is the start of a revolution, and that revolution eventually makes society collapse. Policies change. And I think that the entire world right now needs a revolution. Not a revolution against the government. These governments are nothing, folks. These governments, these Trumps and Bidens and whatever Obamas and whatever they're nothing. Just don't even talk about them. They're nothing. Our main opponent are these banks, are these corporations who have enslaved society, who earn money through funding genocide and wars. And that's true. That's not just a blame, it's a claim. These corporations which lend money or which buys the bonds from other countries, so that they're going to make high interest on their money, and and they know that the other nations which are taking the money from these corporations are committing genocide, are using that money for genocide, killing children, people, massacring the entire population. These banks, these corporations, they are our real opponents. And you don't have to worry about them. Don't be afraid of them at all. They are nothing, literally nothing. What we have to do is get back to this book, the book Allah has given us. We have to get back to this book. We have to embody and start implementing the principles Allah has given us in His book. We have to start worshipping Allah to the best of our ability. We have to submit to Allah. That's what we need to do. And if we are going to do that, you will see the world change as it has already changed. Just look at the books of history. We have to internalize the book of God. We have to internalize the Quran. And when I'm saying that, I don't mean that you should just leave the entire world and go to Al-Azhar University or Medina University and start studying Islam. Quran is available for everyone. Muslims or non-Muslims, it's available for everyone. The tafsir is for the specialist, but the reflection of the text is for everyone. You don't have to be an expert for that. You just have to humble yourself in front of Allah and sincerely ask Him for guidance, and He will guide you, inshallah. And then you start doing whatever field you are working in. May it be medical, engineering, business, corporation, any field you are. You go in that field, you master that field, and people have to unite with each other. I have to make a whole separate video for this thing. Don't be afraid of these corporations or banks or governments or any of these armies or anything. All these people are holding on to is their propaganda. They are able to capitalize on the stupidity on some people. That's all their power. Their propaganda and the stupidity, they have been able to capitalize on some few people in the country. That's all they have. Don't be worried about them. The governments, the Trumps, or anyone. Don't be afraid of them. I think this video has become long. It's about 40 minutes, and I still have two things left. I'll probably make another video, inshallah, of what happens when social responsibility is neglected, ignored, kept aside. Folks, the only way for our survival is going back to the word of Allah. The only way of our survival is internalizing the Quran. The only way for our survival is submitting to the will of Allah. And Allah doesn't command us to be a monk, go into the mountains and start living. Allah doesn't ask us to leave sciences, to stop studying science, maths, English, literature, engineering, anything. No, He doesn't do that. Islam gives you a foundation. Once you have the foundation in place, once you have the principles in place, then you can construct whatever building you want. It can be a building of science, it can be a building of maths, it can be a building of corporations, it can be a building of business, anything you want. But your foundations, my foundations, our foundations, have to be the Quran. If that is not solid, there's only two things which are going to happen. Either there'll be a catastrophe in our life, or we are going to cause catastrophe in other people's life. Hopefully. Hopefully means these are the only two things. Internalize the book of God. Get the book of God, get the Quran, read the translations, try to reflect upon those translations. See how those ayahs which you are reading, the verses which you are reading, reflect your life situation. Ask Allah for sincerity in your heart, and you will definitely get the guidance from God. Doesn't matter if you are a Muslim or not. Doesn't matter. Quran is not the book of Muslims. It's a book for humanity. Read the book. Ask Allah for guidance. Until our next video. Assalamu alaikum.